In the village of Greyhaven, everyone knew Elias as the man who fixed small things. He repaired cracked mugs, loose hinges, broken carts, and clocks that had stopped ticking. His work was careful and useful, but Elias never built anything new.
You have clever hands. Why not make something of your own?
His sister Mara would often tell him. Whenever she would say those words, Elias would shake his head and say,
"Small repairs are safer. If I fail at a repair, no one notices. If I fail at something big, everyone will notice."
One autumn evening, a violent storm tore through Greyhaven. Waves swallowed the old harbor wall. Fishing boats smashed against the rocks, and the village lighthouse went dark. Without the lighthouse's light, ships avoided the coast. The fishermen could not work. Supplies for the small town began to run low. The mayor called a town hall meeting. "We need a new lighthouse, but it must stand on the cliff beyond Blackwater Point, where the winds are strongest." No one at the town hall volunteered. The builders all shouted,
"It is too dangerous."
"It will cost too much."
The merchants all said, as the elderly people of the town stated,
"It may not last."
Elias sat quietly in the back. He imagined the dark sea, the freezing rain, and a tower collapsing beneath the storm. Then he thought of the fishermen's empty nets. He thought about the town's children, waiting for food ships and supply ships that could not find the harbor. That night, Mara found him staring at his tools.
Are you thinking about the lighthouse idea?
I am thinking about failing.
Mara placed a small broken clock on the table in front of him.
You fixed this clock for me when I was little. Do you remember what you said to me?
Elias smiled faintly.
That a clock is meant to move, even if it sometimes loses time.
Mara looked at Elias with a smile and then replied,
Then perhaps people are too.
The next morning, Elias went to the mayor's office and volunteered. For months, he worked on Blackwater Point. He studied the cliff, tested stones, and designed a foundation that reached deep into the rock. At first, people laughed. When a wall cracked, they said, "We knew it." When wind tore away part of the scaffolding, they said,
"Give up!"
But Elias repaired what failed and changed what did not work. Slowly a tower rose above the sea. On the night the lighthouse was finished, another storm arrived. The villagers watched from their windows in the safety of their homes as Elias climbed the tower with a lantern in his hands. As the wind bent the grass flat against the cliff, and rain hammered the stones so fiercely that even the nearest houses disappeared behind a curtain of grey, Elias continued to climb the tower with the lantern in his hand. For a few seconds, a weak beam cut across the water. Then the light. No one knew whether the flame had failed, whether the storm had hidden it, or whether the tower itself had shifted in the... Elias did not return home that night. At dawn, The storm passed. The lighthouse still stood, though one side had cracked from top to bottom. The door was jammed. From the shore, the villagers could see no movement in the upper windows of the lighthouse. Far below, pieces of wreckage drifted into the harbor. A broken mast, a barrel of grain, a child's red scarf tied to a splintered board. No one could say which ships had been saved, which had been lost, or whether the lighthouse had changed anything at all. Mara stood with the others at the edge of the cliff, staring at the dark tower. Some said Elias had been foolish to risk his life for a light that might never have guided anyone home. Others said that without him, the sea would have been darker still, but no one knew which was true. After a few seconds of looking over the cliffs at the water, a figure slowly walked towards the crowd with a somber look on his face, and then gradually a small smile appeared on his face. Without a second thought, Mara turned and ran straight into the arms of her brother Elias. And from that moment on, Elias carried the lesson that he had learned. What is the point of being alive if you don't at least try to do something remarkable?